right, because I think it's supposed to be how he doing. Because it was all neat and shit, man. And he just stayed concentrated. That inspires me to want to get in the business. For real, man.
You was in live,
when I was practicing with the demon time before that, but Monty came and snatched me out of there and got into it Larry. Man, you my groove and all that shit. And then they got to me. And that's what happened.
When we used to dance at Juneteenth, Demons, when I finally got in here.
That's just right. It was just a perfect fit for you. You was what that for real. I'm just saying from the heart.
Because you know why I said no, this is not the only. The reason I'm bringing this up on camera because I always looked at Tui and Rob. Yeah, I looked at Tui and Rob like the best. They was better than me. That's for sure. They was the littles. We call the littles. The littles. Lil Rob, Lil Lon, Lil Bob. We the mascots.
Yeah.
That come with, and then our real leader for mascots is not just one, but Raymond Lowe for Live Incorporated. Feel me? Was one of our master mascots. Then you got other cats that mascot it here and there.
And then I told Glenn Grant, me and Dan Quay was ready to step. So he said, okay, then y'all can go on and work on the step for this talent show he had coming up. We did that, worked on that. It was good. We got disqualified because we used the smoke bomb. But we still got our
That's the same thing happened to Keith Smith
trophy,
and them.
but we lost. Vietnam came in third.
What was Vietnam group called?
Diabolical 3.
Diabolical 3. Vet, that's his sister. That's the
Vet.
girl I told y'all that beat me. That's his sister. She was straight up strutter, Boogaloo. She come from Ben and Kurt and them.
Yeah.
And she beat me at, I walked up on her. I walked up on her because she was his brother.
He walked on me first, I think.
They family was bad. So
he challenged us all. He didn't care. He came by himself. I thought we was finna fight. Well, I seen them hands coming like this, boom, bam. I'm like, oh man. He's gonna give me like that. Yeah. And then he took me to his house and we battled with him. That's what he got. I got him with my turn. So we tied.
I love Struttin, so I did that more so to try to pull the Boogaloo up out of him because I was confused about what Struttin and Boogaloo was too, just like everybody else. Because I didn't know, you feel me, the difference. Because it was just jamming when I got there. It was like Lil Bobby, Roblo, you feel me, Lil Rob, and Lil Tui, feel me, all them, Lil Don, all them had Lil Boozer. They all had the littles, they all had the game sold up.
Let me ask you something. What would you consider film on it? Struttin or Boogaloo? Or both?
Both. Filmo? Struttin. Filmo is the the breeding place for Struttin, for sure.
That'll put you in. It's like a membership card. Let me see a membership card.
Right.
You do the Filmo, you in.
Right.
Everybody got some type of Filmo.
Some kind of Filmo.
You know what I mean? Everybody ain't the same, but this is the signature move of the Filmo. It's the spin.
Right. Yeah,
and then go like this. Man.
Now
that's for my cousin. That's my cousin Ben.
Hop it over. Now we finna move that DNA like this. Didn't he just say that hop was Ben? Now where did Ben come from originally? Oakland, right? And Ben came to Frisco, he was hitting that, right? Like that. Yeah. He had that hop shit, right?
He had on the end of the Filmo.
Right, on the end of his Filmo and he hop. Now we already see the DNA to John Murphy hopping, right? You don't see Chuck hop. No disrespect, but he does spins and twirls and stuff. You don't see Rio hopping. Very seldom you see a couple other people. So what I'm looking at is, what we seeing is John Murphy's DNA. Spread it through everybody, and then you see a few other cats that made they stand about, well, we gonna do it like this. So you credit Jerry Rente and them in the forefront. See, because I wasn't there. But if that's what, hey, give me a second, Rob. Give me 1 second. 1 second. If we credit not John Murphy, if we credit Jerry Rente and them forward first, then that's beautiful and the right thing to do, because that's now with him moving the way he moves and seeing some of the things and saying some of the words he says, those are the words I heard when I was little. So it matches. So I'm good with that. I never saw him, but hearing the researchers and the messengers say that that's who they looked up to, that's a done deal. Because now we see him and see hear his conversation. Now we see the 71 and the 72 mind state. Now, do you recognize the difference of 71 and 72? Not just saying 71 and 72, but the resurgence and the messengers. The resurgence have a delicate dance style that they willing to focus on. Now, that is not Oakland Boogalooing. That is stepping. But let's remember, they looked up to Jared Rente and them. So Jared Rente and them wasn't stepping though. They was doing all the other stuff, or maybe they was, I don't know. But I know that when I hear it, the researchers took that stuff on, they took it, they was good at it, and that was a primary thing that they done. Now, moving over to the hitting and stuff like that. Now, what I'm seeing is, looking at the way that, you know, each one of the resurgents move on their solos, I see that they were willing to be more independent with their fluid movements and complementary to other styles. That's what gives me the indication of saying that that's a lot of what helps Struttin be Struttin, because the independency that the resurgence released. Now, moving forward to 1972, what I'm looking at when I see the Black Messengers, I see hardcore militant movement made by a set of dudes that said, we're gonna do it like this, and this is the way it's gonna be. And that's where you get the hardness and all the other things that they dominate. In my eyes, they dominate. I wasn't there when they danced back in the days of the resurgence. I heard the resurgence give them a run for their money. I hear them say nobody could ever beat them. So moving forward, in the DNA findings, though, of the BRS of working and searching this thing out, getting a better understanding, so we can all move forward and grow. The messengers, their stepping style and being hard like that and moving mechanically like that, that is what signifies Boogalooing more so to me, with the way that these set of people were willing to do it. Which means, that don't mean that over in West Oakland, they're willing to move like them, because they want to take their claim in the dance as well and put their signature on it. So therefore, I see the discrepancy already as a youngster, but now even speaking more, but seeing Don move, how he moves, and moving, doing the things he does just on the one clip alone. Because I never studied Don when I was little. I studied some of the offsprings of Don, I guess, and you know, some of the actions that took place in the community based off of Don and everybody else. But I'm a product of that, so I pick up whatever was in the air. Moving forward, you got West Oakland, East Oakland. West Oakland is doing their thing. I hear that Don is taking heads, swallowing it, and playing with the body parts and stuff. There was other people doing that stuff too, but I'm speaking about Don because we talking about San Francisco Struttin and why we do all this and all this other stuff. Don himself taking heads and all that stuff, that did come around, and I can tell you like this, from what I know and what I've talked to a few of the fellas about from the other side of the Boogaloo from East Oakland, they didn't like that. That's not Boogalooing to them, that's playing games. So therefore, that shows how much more militant about this way that this group is. And I'm saying not the Black Messengers only, but even their followers. You feel me? That they're willing to stand tall about, this is ours, this is how we moving, this is how we doing it. And they're not gonna call anything outside of that Boogaloo. Because in their eyes, you ain't doing it right if you're not doing it their way.
Man, I don't think they heard.
Resurgence was more acceptable to expression. So you got the two. You either want to go hard or soft. I'm gonna say, I call it soft, but it ain't soft. It's sweet. That debonaireness we got and all that stuff, that pillows off of being able to spin and stuff. The resurgence, the messenger, you see how they spins are from what the clips they show. The dog spins, the collar spins that Chuck was doing on his clips and stuff. That's pure Boogaloo. From them on down to all the fellas that was willing to run like that. But over in West Oakland, you got these cats that's Boogalooing, and they had their way of doing it like this, even though they respect what East Oakland doing. I don't know if East Oakland is respecting what West Oakland is doing. Because even for me conversating with certain people, I hear that it's not happening like that. But West Oakland has never been angry, from what I know, of East Oakland's way. But East Oakland says that that's not the way it's going to be done, taking hits and doing those other things. But fortunately, it evolved and spread it out. No matter if it was right or wrong, it became a part of the art form to take a move. And Diabolical Soldiers alone had moves where they would take hits, swallow, body, wave, boom. You feel me? So the evolvement of the dance happened, dog. And Struttin picked it all up and made it happen to where we at right now today. I can't say no more than that.